So if I'm hearing you right, Gabe, we're talking about this is what we want to do before Facebook and YouTube and all the other social media, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't even need Facebook and YouTube and social media.
Welcome to Beyond Clean with Ace. In the world of commercial cleaning, whether you're new to the industry or a seasoned professional, you know we're all more than just toilets, windows, and floors. We're just like everyone else with diverse interests in everything. Now in Season 9, tens of thousands have discovered engaging and thoughtful knowledge that's truly game-changing at Beyond Clean with Ace. Whether you're a facility manager, a frontline staff member, or a building services contractor, we're here to help you grow personally and professionally. So hit that subscribe button and share with others. We're all about enhancing lives in healthy, positive, and proactive ways. So join me, Dave Thompson, Director of the Academy of Cleaning Excellence, your host at Beyond Clean with Ace.
Hello, everyone. It's another episode of here at Beyond Clean with Ace, where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with cleaning. And you know what? I got to start off today by saying something really here. Thank you a lot for all of the downloads. Over 23,000 so far on the two channels that we broadcast on. We're approaching 45,000 downloads. So folks, we really appreciate that a lot. It's all about people getting us information, sharing it. That's why we do a podcast. Now, you know what? I talk about commercial cleaning all the time. I have a treat for you today because you know what? I'm not going to talk about commercial cleaning. So if you are in a different form of cleaning, this might be for you today. So listen up, because I've got somebody here that wants to talk about something that is not commercial cleaning, but I think that there is a business involved in it, something like that. You know what? I get all these things all the time, people asking me to be on the podcast now, and I'm glad to. So hang on, get your cup of coffee. Let's have a talk about something other than commercial cleaning. And I see a face, I see a smile. So do I hear a voice?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
God, it's always good to be heard. Yes. Okay. So, Gabe, let's first, since it's your first time here on the podcast, talk to people here, tell them who you are, what you do, and hey, what kind of cleaning are we going to talk about today?
Awesome. Well, Dave, thanks so much for having me. For everybody out there, thank you for listening. Dave, it's a pleasure to be here. And what we do is my company is called Hector Home Services Marketing, and we work with home service companies, cleaning companies included, and help them generate a predictable, scalable, and reliable pipeline of leads and business, right? So that's our main thing. I think everybody, whether you're in commercial or residential, can resonate with the feeling of roller coaster sales months, where 1 month, you get 3 referrals popping out every week and it's great. And then the next 2 months, it goes completely quiet, right? And you might get enough business through the roller coaster to keep things going and keep things growing a little bit each year. But what you don't get is that predictability, that reliability that you can really make informed business bets on, when to hire, who to hire, how to deploy capital, right? All these things. So that's what we really help do, is to help home service businesses that are working with residential homeowners to do this. So
I got to tell you, Gabe, I'm writing my memoirs right now.
Amazing.
And, I made it very clear that, I did full janitorial. And, folks, you've been with me long enough. Full janitorial means you do everything in a building. I got really tired of that because every person's desk was their domain. Don't touch this. Don't touch that. You're talking about home cleaning. It gets even worse.
Yeah, well, I can't speak to that. I can only speak to how to find you customers who actually want to have you in their house. I can't speak to that.
I was going to say, now you got grandma, the kids, and, the family pet and everything. And now you want to go to marketing all of that? Come on, man.
Hey, there are people. I just moved in with I just got engaged, and I just moved in with my
congratulations.
Fiance. Thank you. And neither of us like cleaning that much, so we're in the market. I was telling her I was on this podcast just this morning, and she's like, can you find a cleaning company that we can hire?
If
Hopefully.
you're in the marketing of cleaning companies, I should say you'd probably be able to find one.
I got to find one local though, right? And that's the challenge and opportunity of local marketing, because when you're marketing not a local business, if you're a coaching, like for example, your business doing coaching, you can work with people all over the country, all over the world. Marketing that is a lot more challenging because you're competing against coaches and education programs all over the country. But when you're a local business, right, you can really, really stand out and kind of punch above your weight class, because you're only competing with the 10, 15, 20 businesses in your local market. So it's a really big opportunity for people.
So you're talking about what size? Let's kind of get to the start of this. All right. Okay.
Sure.
When we're talking about this, I guess, if you're doing home cleaning, you're talking about 2 or 3 jobs or half a dozen.
I don't have firsthand immediate experience working with cleaning companies right now. We work with 8 different trades right now, and the marketing process to have success with all of them is the exact same. So I'm 100% confident that what we do for other trades will work very well for cleaning companies, but I don't know the economics of cleaning companies firsthand like the way you're asking.
Okay, and I think that's what I was trying to get to here. So this isn't something, people look and go, marketing for this or that. Well, I don't qualify because I don't have enough business. Is this true?
I see. Okay, I can answer that question. Yeah. So there's kind of a few tiers to where people can, like, where you should think about where you should start next, right? So okay. I'll just put it in terms of budgets, right? So let's say your marketing budget right now is $500 a month. So just getting started, right? There's a lot that you can do to start getting your business to show up higher on Google. All right. So let me take one step back real quick. In residential marketing, really the best place to be is on Google search, right? I'm sure.
There we go. Okay. Now we're getting to it.
We're getting to it.
No matter who you are in residential marketing, put a video on Google and Facebook or YouTube, and that's why Google will pick you up?
Yep. So, it's just Google. And the first place to start is going to be your Google business profile. So for anybody who's not familiar with that, like when you do a search on, like if you're a customer and you do a search for a local cleaning company or a local HVAC, right? At the top, you'll see some ads, and then the next section down, you'll see what's like the Google Maps area. So the part where you see all the reviews, you know what I'm saying? Where you see so that is technically Google Maps, right? So if you were to search on Google Maps, like for a dentist or for a cleaner, you see all those pop up. And that profile that you see there, it's not their website. It's not your Facebook page. It's not your YouTube page. It's what's called your Google business profile. All right.
Okay. So what you're telling us here, Gabe, is at the very start is, in today's world, you're not a business until you have a Google business page.
100%. That's a great way to put it. If you're a local business, like a local cleaning company trying to reach homeowners in your, counties and whatnot, your service area, if you don't have a Google business profile, 90% of people are not going to be able to find you.
So in other words, this is where you want to start your marketing campaign. This is where you need to spend your time and energy. First of all, no matter what your size is.
Absolutely. And the good news is that you don't really need to spend money to set up a Google business profile and even to optimize it. Okay. So obviously an agency or a marketing expert can do it for you and they'll do a good job. Well, most of them, but I don't know. We
got to qualify that now.
We got to talk honestly. But you do not need professional help to do that, right? Like you create a Google business profile, and the key is to fill out all the information, right?
So, and that's what I was just going to say, because many people just put out a little bit, go, I don't have time for this.
Exactly.
But it's the more that you could put on that profile page, the more viable your business is.
100%. So, and it walks you through the prompts. It's just like if you're creating a Facebook profile, like, walk through each section, right? So it'll say, what's your service area? Put it in detail, put all the neighborhoods you work in, right? Like the more is better, right? Because it's all giving Google information. So when people search like, let's say you just put the big city, but not neighborhoods. Someone might search in their specific neighborhood, right? They might not type in the big city at all. They might type in their neighborhood. And if your Google profile has that we service that neighborhood, Google's going to show you, it's going to increase the chances of showing you for people who are searching all different variations of the locations that you service. Does that make sense?
So if I'm hearing you right, Gabe, we're talking about this is what we want to do before Facebook and YouTube and all the other social media, right?
Oh yeah. You don't even need Facebook and YouTube and social media.
There's where I was going. Okay,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the problem is if you're a home cleaner, you got a vacuum, you got a duster, you got some cloths, and you got a car and a trunk, and you're going, okay. Now, how do people find you?
Exactly.
This is what you're saying.
Exactly. Online, right? I mean, obviously, if you're just getting started, ground game and hustling.
Right. But I mean, you've got a few jobs, you got a couple things that you're doing, but you want to really try to make a business instead of just a side hustle.
Exactly. So, you don't even need. I mean, like, I'm not going to So with social media, with Facebook and Instagram, if you're willing to get on video, and like take candid videos of you at the jobs and kind of get on screen and talk to people and if you're comfortable being on camera, being on Facebook and Instagram can help, right?
Sure.
I'm not saying it's.
But that all ties back to this, though, right?
It ties back to Google, but ultimately, you don't even need to be on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube if you don't want to. Like Google alone, if you do it right, by far is enough to get you all the business you need and more, right?
Okay, so you said do it right. There's do's and don'ts.
Exactly. So
let's get into the do's and don'ts since we're here on Google page.
Okay, so back to the Google business profile. Like you said, number one is fill it out completely, right? So all your service areas, all your services, you're going to see a section on categories. You want to make sure you put in the different categories that you do, right? And then the other key piece of when I say an optimized Google profile. So in Google world, some of your listeners may have heard of what's called SEO, search engine optimization, right? So that word optimization is making sure that you're setting everything up so that Google and these AI search algorithms can find your business when your people are looking for you, right? So one key way to do that is to add in what's called keywords. Now, this sounds a little bit technical, but I promise it's really, really simple at least at this level.
Okay, now wait a minute.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a cleaner. I clean toilets, wash, and I do stoves, I do carpets. Keywords, what are you talking about? How do you find these magic keywords?
Yeah. It's a great point. Well, luckily in the trades, it's really quite simple. It's just your location and your services, right? So if I'm based in Baltimore, right near Baltimore in Maryland, right? So if I'm a cleaning company, my main keyword is going to be cleaning company in Baltimore, right?
It can be more than one word, and I think that's I would say that's a phrase. It's calling that a keyword.
Great point. Yeah, no, that is confusing, but yes, a keyword is more often a phrase than it is a word. Okay.
Now see, there's where I was trying to get to because this is where the optimization comes in. Correct? If you just use a word, is different than a phrase. Correct?
Absolutely. Okay. So yes, you're right. Keyword is you could think of it as a key phrase is really what we should call it.
There we go. Okay.
And generally, if I have a cleaning company in Baltimore and I want to optimize it, right? I want to put in phrases that are my services and my locations. Okay.
So then home cleaning in Baltimore would be better than cleaning in Baltimore.
Absolutely. If you're trying to target residential, 100%. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So exactly. So and so it's important to get those phrases in there. So as you're optimizing Google Business Profile and there's a section on your description, right? You'll want to say, we are a home cleaning company in Baltimore, Maryland. We provide cleaning services for XYZ locations and neighborhoods, right? So you want to describe your business in a way that gets in some of these key phrases of people searching for your business in your location, right? That's a key thing about Google and how Google works and why it's so good is because if you think about Facebook or YouTube, and you want to do marketing on there, you're catching people like when they're looking at cat videos, and like looking at their grandma's like knitting sweater.
But that's not where they go to find your service.
Exactly.
Correct?
Same thing with
They're
billboards.
going to find out about you there maybe and get the personal touch, but that's not where your business is found.
Exactly. That's the beauty of Google search is you're putting your business right in front of people exactly when they're searching for your service in your location, right? So I'm going to deviate just a little bit for a moment, but this is a huge don't. You told me do's and don'ts, right? A big misconception of SEO is a lot of people will think like to write blogs, right? And you'll write let's say you write an educational blog of like, should I use, this chemical or this chemical in my cleaning, right? But if you do that and you think about it, and you think about who's searching for that phrase, it's going to be people from all across the country, right? People all across the country looking to learn about which chemicals to use or whatever it is, right? But if you build your whole website and your Google business profile around location-based searches, so not like general, like, should I use this or this? It's more of like cleaning company in my neighborhood. You know what I mean?
So then what I'm hearing you say, the location is more important than the task that they're doing?
Well, they're equally important, right? I mean, you have to definitely.
I mean, they're already coming for a cleaning company. They know you're going to clean something. So I'm just trying to help people here with
location.
They have to prioritize these phrases, correct?
Exactly. Location is everything, right? I can't tell you how many companies we've worked with where we come in and they're getting a lot of traffic to their website. They're getting a lot of clicks and, eyeballs, but they're coming from all over the country, right? It doesn't do you any good. If you serve one county in Maryland, it doesn't do you any good having all this traffic from around the country.
Yeah,
right?
then you're wasting your time and all your effort on nothing.
Exactly. So it's much better to have less traffic. I mean, of course, you want more traffic, but given the choice, you want less traffic, but all of it in your area and traffic of people looking to purchase your services, not just like high-level educational information. You know what I mean?
I say it all the time. You may agree with what you're saying now, Gabe, is, clicks are great, but action's much better.
Exactly. So that's the beauty of local SEO or local optimization is when you tune your Google profile and your website right so that everything is laser targeted at people searching for your services in your area. That's going to yield a much better return on your investment than just doing general like informational educational things.
Okay, so number one is fill out the Google profile completely. Number two, put in the key phrases. Okay. What's our third thing?
Let me just say one quick tip on number two is that I'm sure you and your folks have heard of ChatGPT and some of these AI tools, right? Of course. Use it, right? Like it's a tool. Like I've got my own personal, is it good? Is it bad for humanity? That's a different discussion. But in terms of like, is it an important tool to help your business grow faster? Like, absolutely. And
I was just going to say something, Gabe, because I use SuperGrok and, I went in there, did exactly what you're saying. And I said, give me, get from my website, give me the key phrases that I should use to do this. And, here were 20 different phrases. And I'm like, I would never put those together that way.
Exactly. And even when it comes to writing it, from writing the content on your profile, it'll do a good job of that. So what I would recommend people do is you open up a tab in ChatGPT or Grok and say, I'm a cleaning company in this, and these are my service areas. Can you help me optimize my Google business profile? Right. And it'll say, like, if you need help setting up the profile, you can ask it, can you give me a step-by-step instruction? And it'll do that. And then you say, can you help me optimize it? And then, here's my, and then you talk with it a little bit and it'll write everything for you. So you don't even have to write anything. You just need to have a good, go ahead.
Gabe, I'm thinking about this. Wait a minute. You're now telling people go to Grok and ChatGPT to do what you do.
Well, yeah, it's a tool that kind of amplifies your productivity. But if we get, later, if we want to talk more about how AI is changing things at a basic level, it's not really changing the fundamentals, right? It's just raising the bar.
It's just making it more useful so that more people are doing more sustainable things, which is just advancing it for the whole industry.
Exactly. And,
it's just an assistant.
It's just an assistant. Exactly. It doesn't fundamentally change anything. It just raises the bar. So it raises the bar for everybody, which is why, like, if you don't use it, you're going to fall behind, because now, like, let's say it used to take, a certain amount of inputs to get a certain output. Well, now it takes more inputs to get the same output. However, you have this tool that can help you create more inputs, right?
Well, I can guarantee you, folks, if you're listening today, listen to Gabe right here, because I guarantee you, if you're in the home cleaning business, your competition is doing exactly what we're talking about. So you either need to get with it or just be prepared. Referrals are the only way you're going to get business, and you're going to be down here at the bottom.
Exactly.
I'm trying to paraphrase a little bit there.
No, you're exactly right. If you're like, I used to say a lot, like, if you're standing still and the world's moving forward, you're going backwards. You know what I mean? So, and again, even that tool, like a ChatGPT or Grok, right? As you know, it's easy to use. Like, it'll teach you how to use it. So, like, even if you're scared or not sure what to do, just ask it. You say, hey, ChatGPT, like, I'm new to using you. I'm trying to optimize my Google profile. Can you help me do this right? And it'll break it down for you, and it'll help you,
Talk to it just like you're talking to Gabe right now.
That's exactly the key. Talk, which is weird to say, but it's the best way to use it, is talk to it like it's a person.
Well, you're just talking to it with your fingers instead of with your microphone.
Well, you can use your microphone too. So, okay.
And so, this is part of marketing your business, no matter what side you are. And as you said, it doesn't matter who you are, what type of business you have. We're talking home cleaners, but hey, I'm doing the same thing for my business.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, okay. Number 3, you want to get to number 3?
Go for it, man. Go.
Okay. So number 1 was create a Google business profile.
The whole thing. Fill
it out completely. Number 2 is use ChatGPT or Grok to help you write a keyword-rich content, right? So to fill it out with the right key phrases. Okay, it sounds complicated.
And this is what we're calling optimizing. You can do it yourself.
Exactly. When it comes to your website, that starts to get way more technical, right? We'll come back to that. But even before you touch your website, like the lowest hanging fruit, the most important thing you can do is to start with your Google business profile.
I mean, this is first. I mean, this is trying to, and folks, I like what Gabe is saying here, because you've got to build the foundation before you can build the rest of it. If you don't have the right foundation, the rest of it is not going to produce.
Exactly. And obviously there's a whole range of things that if you're really ready to grow and invest more, and you want, like, there's so much more to it. But there's so much that business owners can just do themselves. That is the core foundation. And that's what I want to focus on, because you don't even need to hire somebody to get the core pieces in place, right?
Let's go.
Okay. Number 3 is well, actually, let's do a 2.5 is your location, right? So where your business address is very important for Google search. So if you're trying to get traffic as a cleaning company in Baltimore, but if your Google address is located 20 miles outside of Baltimore, Google's not really going to show you for a lot of searches in Baltimore, because a big part of who they show when you do a search on Google is, for a local search especially, is how close to the person searching and the location that they're searching is that business's address. All right. So, it's a bit challenging, because you have, like, if you're not planning on getting an office, like, it doesn't affect you, or if you like where your office is, then, but it's important to know that, because a lot of times we run into businesses where they are either working out of their house, which is fine, but they, like, their address might be, like, they might live somewhere else, but they want to get clients in a different area from where they live. A lot of times it's because they're higher income zip codes, right?
Sure.
So they might live out here, but they want to target clients over here. And with how Google's organic search, which means not paid, like when you just search and you're not paying for it's location is a big piece. Okay. So I just don't want people to get the wrong impression that if your location is, if you want to get customers where your location is not located, Google organic is not going to be the best bet for you, because a core part of how it works is Google showing people close to where your business address is. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It does to me, because I live with it all the time. But
yeah,
to the viewers and the listeners, this is extremely important to understand the difference between an organic and a paid search.
exactly. With paid search, you can do, it's the challenge is it's expensive and you have to pay money, right? But with paid search, you can say, I want to show my ads in these zip codes, just in these, or just in this town, or just here.
So if somebody's putting some money into their marketing budget, would this be one of the first places?
Let's come back to that. There's
Okay.
there is one particular Google ad product called local services ads that is a great place to start. But let me come back to that. I would say that's like step 4 or 5.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
I'm ahead of the game.
Step 3, even before you put money into that, right? There's
Right. All right.
one more big piece that's important, and that's your Google reviews. All right. So I'm sure better than me, and I'm sure so many people that know how important Google reviews are. But when it comes to both Google showing your profile higher, like, you got to remember, Google and AI search is a recommendation algorithm, right? So if you ask Google, show me a cleaning company near me, or show me a cleaning company in Baltimore, right? It's going to look at, okay, who are the best people I can recommend? And for Google, the number of reviews you have and how good your rating is a huge piece of who they decide to show at the top. And then, of course, once you actually get shown at the top, your Google reviews, at least on Google, are the most important thing that customers look for when they're looking to find somebody, right? Like, if you think about what people do 90% of the time when they're looking for a local business is they're on their phone, they search cleaning company near me, they scroll down to the part where it shows the people's reviews, and they call 2 of them. They call a couple. Whoever answers the phone first and gives them the best experience is who they go with, right? So those reviews are not only a big part of what gets them to what gets Google to even put you in front of people's eyeballs in the first place, but it's also a big part of what gets people to not just see you, but call you and hire you.
Now, Gabe, I also got some advice. And so since we're talking marketing and you're the guru here for this home cleaning stuff, talk to me about how best to work with that review, because what I was told was to optimize those reviews, you need to reply as soon as possible to that review in a positive way, or if they had a negative, in how you're handling that, rather than just leaving it. So the review is important, but your reaction as the entrepreneur is just as important.
It's a great question. And it's kind of there's 2-part answer, right?
Okay.
If it's a positive review, you want to respond as quickly as possible. Within 24 to 48 hours, Google gives you bonus points in terms of like how they score how they rank your profile.
Yeah, it's all about rating.
It's all about rating, right? And engagement. So like, if Google sees that you're getting reviews and you're responding to reviews, it's a signal to them that's like, oh, these guys or these gals must be, they care about their customers. They're engaged. They're an active business. They're engaged at talking with their people, right? However, with a negative review, it's a bit more complicated, because if it's so what am I trying to say here? If it's a fake review, or if it's like not accurate, or if it's not a real customer, or it's spam or whatnot, or it's a competitor trying to just dog you, you don't want to respond, because what you want to do instead is you want to dispute the review with Google, and there's a good chance that they'll take it down. But
and that's what I was talking. You don't want to just leave it. You do respond, but it's not in response to it. It's how you handle it.
Exactly.
There you go.
So you can dispute it with Google, and if it is in fact like not a real customer and not a real review, then like most of the time they'll take it down, right?
Well, and these things happen, and this is why I wanted to bring it up.
Absolutely. But the key is, if you respond publicly, it in Google's eyes, it almost like validates the review. Right. So that's why you don't want to respond publicly until you've just like the first course of action is to dispute it with Google. They might take it down. Right. The second course of action is also not to respond publicly, but it's actually to, if it's a real review and Google doesn't take it down, you want to reach out to that customer directly and try to make good on that relationship, right? And
you don't want to get into an argument and dispute it visibly online with people, because then that is almost worse than the review itself.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I mean, people absolutely look at your reviews and they look at how you respond, right? So definitely.
I mean, but I'm thinking here, versus commercial cleaning versus home cleaning. When I'm commercial cleaning, it's in a whole different category. I'm talking about business owners.
Correct.
And the way that we respond as entrepreneurs is a little different than when Mary Adams responds to Joe's cleaning service, because that's on a personal level. Exactly. And characters and emotions get out of hand real fast. Totally.
So that's definitely true. Yep. And then like I said, a 1-star review is really bad for your marketing. Like it's I'm not trying to like sound doomy or whatever, but it's just to say like it's even many of our clients, they still don't quite get how bad a 1-star review is, right? Because it's not just, it's going to hurt your ability to get leads in terms of like Google showing your profile higher. It's going to hurt people contacting you and actually reaching out to you, right? So 1-star reviews are very bad. Like I would view them, and 5-star reviews are really, really good, right? But it takes five 5-star reviews to counterbalance 1-star review, right? In terms of like their rating, you know what I mean?
So then, do you have some real quick, easy ways? We're losing Gabe here. Apparently, internet in Baltimore is getting bad there. Folks, if you know what, we're going to just kind of hang tight here and hope Gabe gets back with us. It's one of these things, dealing with the internet and everything. Weather, I'm sure that weather up there towards Gabe is not all that great because of the weather that's been going on. So you know what, we're just going to hang tight here for a little bit and see if Gabe comes back. This is a great conversation, and I do like the fact that, everything that we're talking about here this morning applies whether you're a home cleaning service, a commercial cleaning service. It doesn't really matter who you are, what you're doing. It's still all about, this type of a service. Let's see if we got Gabe back here again. Gabe, are you still back with us?
Yes. I'm so sorry about that. Can you hear me?
No. Hey, I just kind of kept on talking and I knew you'd come back.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my computer.
I was just telling everybody that, the thing here is that, what you're talking about here, I know we're talking home cleaning, but everybody has to use this. I'm using the same stuff, and we're talking about reviews. Now, how do people get them? I mean, what's the best way? I know what I've been doing. You're the marketing guy.
Yeah. No, it's a great question. The best thing you can do is get reviews on the spot, right? Like the best thing is always after you're done your service to get them before you leave their house, right? There's lots of things you can do to follow up after and send them text messages or leave them with a little business card with your like a QR code that scans to. There's lots of techniques you can do to try to get them to leave a review after you're gone. But you know how it is. Most people are busy juggling a million things. And a lot of times they want to do it, but they just forget or they're too busy or whatnot, right?
So I've been seeing these ads just like everybody else that has these little square things that you can leave and everything. Now, I have in my classroom, because I'm doing the same thing, right? I have a QR code up on the wall, and I let everybody know during class that if they want to review at any time, there's a QR code that they can scan. COVID did a lot of bad stuff. I agree. But one thing COVID did is it taught everybody how to use a QR code.
Yeah, I've never heard that. You're right.
I mean, before I had QR codes and people, scan. But I tell you what, after COVID, it's like I don't even have to talk. I just point at it and it's like automatic.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
it is all about making it easier, right?
It's about making it easier, 100%, right? So definitely, like what we always, and again, this is something that you can do. You don't need to hire somebody to do this. Like it takes a little bit of work, but you can make exactly what you said. You make a little business card design with a QR code, and the QR code links to your reviews, right? So, and the way to do that is when you're setting up your Google business profile, you'll see a section in there that's like, it'll say get more reviews. And when you click on that, it'll give you a link that you can either text people or you can put on this QR code. And that link, when somebody scans it, or if you text it to them and they click it, it's going to open right up to your Google review page with like the 5 stars and the box where they can leave a review.
Okay, so Mary Jane's listening to us somewhere else, and she's going, how do you get a QR code? Mary Jane, it's very easy. Grok and ChatGPT,
exactly.
You simply put in that link that Gabe talked about, said, create a QR code for this, and it'll do it for you.
Exactly. And that applies to anything here. Like, even if it doesn't do it for you exactly, it will give you a very simple step-by-step process on how to do it yourself. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not trying to say go around Gabe. Use Gabe when you can, but
no,
Gabe, because hey, I got to tell you, you're going to do the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, but there's so much, and you know, we can get into this more later, right? Like what I'm giving people right now is like the ticket to the dance. It's like the foundations of like, without this stuff, you don't stand a chance. And a lot of times, if the competition for ranking in your area is not too high, even if you just do this stuff, you might be able to get leads from it, right? Like if your Google business profile is set up well and you've got great reviews and your competitors don't, like you're going to show up first and you're going to get leads, even if you don't have a website. Now, if you're in a market where it's more competitive on Google, you're going to eventually need a website, and you're going to need to do some ongoing optimizations on your website. And that's where the much more labor intensive and technical part comes in, where you're going to want to hire a marketing company for that, or a marketing professional. But again, it's not even worth spending any money on that until you've got this core fundamentals and foundation in place.
And I think I like what you're doing for us on this podcast today, folks, whether you're listening to the podcast on the audio or you're watching us on YouTube. Thank you very much for sharing and following us. But this is very great, because here's a person that's telling us what you need to do before you go and see them. Before you spend your hard-earned money, do the basics that you can, just like running your cleaning business. You know what? You got to buy your vacuum. You got to buy your tools. You got to find a source to do that. You know, rather than running up and down the street, knock on some doors, have this stuff ready when you get there, that you're the professional that they're looking for, not somebody working out of their trunk.
Exactly. It's a great point. So the other tip that I'll share with people about getting reviews, because a lot of times people get nervous or scared to ask folks, you know what I mean? I get it, right? Like it's vulnerable. You might get rejected or whatnot. But one thing that's really good is to kind of prime people in advance before you ask. And you do that by saying, so you're wrapping up your service and you're talking to Miss Mary, and you say, Miss Mary, is there anything that I could do that would make you feel like this is a 5-star service, right? Or something like, you know, is there anything that I haven't done that would leave you feeling like this is a 5-star service, right? So before you ask them to leave a review, you give them the opportunity to say like, oh yes, this actually has been a 5-star service. Or, you know, actually you didn't really clean up that well after yourself in the basement. Like if you do that, then I'll feel like this is a 5-star service, right? And then once you do that, it kind of disarms them a little bit, and it makes it easier for you to say, okay, well, thank you, Miss Mary. Would you be so kind to leave me a quick review on Google? It really helps my business, and it helps me get our services in front of other people, right? And simply by doing that, by giving them the opportunity, essentially, to say, like, actually, this is what 5-star looks like in my mind, right? If you give them that opportunity first, then when you actually ask for the 5-star review, you've already kind of given them the opportunity to say no or to, qualify themselves, right? And we find that simple technique really helps to lower the bar and make it easier to ask for a review, because you're kind of asking before you ask in a way. Does that make sense?
Well, you know what? I tell you what, I learned this lesson kind of the hard way, folks. I was telling people, after class, hey, you know what? Give us a review. We're like anybody else. Customers go to the review. They want to hear from you, not from me. And all of that sounded good, but nobody did it. And so what I did is I actually just took an 8x11 sheet of paper, put the QR code up there and said, scan for review. And so now, after class is over, they're wanting their certificate.
Exactly.
Scan that. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I leave the room and I come back and I go, hey, everybody got their review in? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Time for a picture with your certificate. And one guy said, oh, so you hold the certificate as a hostage for a review. I go, I didn't tell you what kind of review to get.
Exactly.
I mean, we have a little bit of fun with it, but I think that's the other thing. As an entrepreneur, you got to find ways, because that review is tremendously important to that Google search, right?
It's not just important. It's tremendously important to the Google search, and it's tremendously important to the person who is doing that Google search and looking to find a cleaning company, right?
Now, wait a minute here. We've been talking for 40 minutes. We only have a little bit of time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
One more. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Review. But if there's anything anybody takes away from this thing, right? Reviews are king. It's the most important thing, not just for Google, but also for people. And if you have a team, I also recommend incentivizing your team to get reviews. So pay them $20, $10, $20, $25 per review they get. It's 100% worth it from a you'll see the return on that investment more than the $25 you pay for that review. You can't pay customers for a review, but you can pay your employees. Okay. The last one is what I mentioned, this local services ad. So if your Google profile is set up and your Google profile is optimized, and your reviews are strong, or at least strong enough, right, to be run a search in your area. Run a search on cleaning companies in Baltimore. You'll see how many reviews they've got in the top 3. You don't have to be the best, but you have to be good enough to be in that group, right? Once you've got that, then check out something called local services ads. All right. It's, again, ChatGPT can help you. It's very simple to walk through it. I won't go into the technical details, but it's also called Google Guaranteed. Some people may know it as that. It's a pay per lead Google marketing service where you just it's not like pay per click. Pay per click, you can waste a lot of money because you can spend thousands of dollars on clicks, but none of those clicks actually turn into leads, right?
Yeah.
This local services ad is a pay per lead. So you only spend money when you actually get lead phone calls, right? So it's the reason why I always recommend it to start is because it's low risk, right? And the other thing is that you don't have to hire an agency to do this. They make it very easy to set up. And then once you do it, you just pick your service area and your budget and you hit go, and then they'll start sending you leads, right? And so it's a great place for people to start because you don't have to hire a marketing company to do it. And because it's low risk in that you're not going to lose money. The worst thing that could happen is that Google doesn't show your ad. And in that case, you won't get leads, but you also won't spend money, right? So you won't lose money, which is why I always recommend it to start.
So folks, we have covered a whole lot of stuff. And what I like about today's podcast, folks, is this is all very basic stuff that most people don't talk about. They just assume that you already know this.
Right.
But what Gabe is telling you on this podcast is you need to do this stuff before you come to him, because he's going to tell you this is what we got to start with.
Exactly. And then number 5, and moving into the, I know we got to stop, but a web, I would be remiss if I didn't say that having a website is important. It's important to have a website, and it's important to optimize it locally. And that starts to get more technical. I'm not recommending people to build their own website and optimize it. You're going to waste a lot of time. That's not in your highest and best use, right? But even if you don't have a website yet, you can still do these first 4 steps: set up a profile, optimize it, get reviews, run local service ads. And that's going to be enough in a lot of circumstances to already get you leads right out the gate without spending much money and without risking losing money. You know what I mean?
So I think we've covered just about all of it. I don't know of anything else there is to cover. I mean, yes, we can go into a whole lot. Now, let me ask one question before we get into the final thing here. I ask guests every time, what's going to be the thing that you're going to help with the most now that they've got all this done? Why would they come to you, Gabe, at Home Services Marketing once they've done this? What's the challenge and what's the reason?
It's a great question. If everybody has done this, like, again, this is a minimum foundation, and in certain markets, if your competition is really weak, right, this alone, assuming you have at least a basic website already, is going to be enough to get you into the top 3 on Google and to start getting some leads from it, right? But even if you want to expand from there, right, like most Google marketing works, again, close to your location. So you're going to start getting leads close to where your business is located. And if you want to keep expanding the service area that Google ranks you in the top 3 on, you're going to need to take some deeper steps to do that. Same thing if you're in a market or you're in a town or a city that is more competitive and you just do the Google profile and you just do the reviews and you just do the local service ads, it might work for a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to really compete at a significant level and generate leads at a significant level to grow and scale your business, because your competition is already too far ahead of you, right? And you're not doing enough to close the gap. So that's where we would come in. I for the sake of time, I won't get into the technical aspects of what we do, but we put in a lot of resources and work and energy every month to make sure that you can compete with even the national cleaning companies in your area, even players who have been doing SEO for 10 years. We can catch you up to them in 3 to 6 months by doing a much more, turbocharged campaign to boost your rankings, right? So that's where we come in. But again, it's not to say that you can't do a lot on your own just to get started. But if you're ready to expand your service area, or if you're ready to compete against the more established players in your direct market, that's where you might want to consider calling us.
I like this podcast today, folks. If you're watching on YouTube, you've seen Hector's email address. You've seen his website scrolling across the bottom. If you're listening on the podcast, we'll have it always like we do in the show notes for you, all of this contact information. But what I really like about today is this is the basic ground rules that everybody believes they've got to have somebody do it for them. And we get hit with emails, spam all the time about trying to do all of this stuff. And really, as you said, AI has become the assistant to help us.
Exactly.
We're cleaners, we're doers. We like to do stuff. Exactly. Sitting on a computer doing this is not our forte. This isn't what I like to do. Exactly. But it's essential to running your business.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just want to say that I have a ton of respect for what you do at Beyond Clean with Ace, because we were saying this before we started rolling tape, but I think that coaching and education, the right coaching and education, is, even before a marketing agency, right, is the best and most important investment that any entrepreneur can make, right? So I have a tremendous amount of respect for what you're doing for folks, giving them, right, the coaching and the education and the firsthand experience that they need, because it's lonely running a business, right? Like, especially if you don't have a partner, it's lonely and you don't know what to do. You second guess yourself at every turn, right? So having a coach and a community there to help you each step of the way, I think is a phenomenal thing that you're doing for people.
Now, folks, you might have wondered here a little bit, just like Gabe, whenever we got online today, and he goes, wait a minute, you talk commercial cleaning. What do I have to do with this? I'm with home cleaning. And I said, hey, friend, just let's talk about this. And you know what I'm going to do? And I didn't tell you this before, but, I have people that come in here to the academy all the time going, I'm tired of working for somebody. I want to start my cleaning business. How do I get started? And I am going to play them some of this podcast from today and say, listen to this. Here's an excerpt from it. Now go home, listen to this, and start doing this first, and then come back and see me.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean,
That's what podcasting for. I love it.
And getting reviews is challenging. I'm not going to say it's not hard. You have to do the legwork and reach out to past customers and friends and
Cleaning's
family.
not easy too. I got to do the legwork there too.
Exactly. But the Google business profile stuff, I mean, again, the steps 1 and 2 we talked about, somebody can knock that out in an hour. I mean, literally in 1 hour, you can do steps 1 and 2, right? So,
and actually, folks, once you start doing this, it will become fun. It'll be something that's engaging. You'll go, it wasn't so hard. It's just like anything else. You just got to start. You're an entrepreneur now, which means you can't just do one thing.
Preach. Say that again.
Yeah, you know, the cleaning part is the easy part, folks, and the hard part is what makes you stand out above the rest, right?
Exactly. And that's true of my business. That's true of your business, right? Like doing the service that we provide to others. It's taken us, years to build up to this point, but sure. That part's easy. The hard part is running and growing the business, right? While you do that stuff and don't let, the quality of your service suffer.
Okay. So before I let you go, there's 2 questions that I always ask my first time guests.
Amazing.
Where were you born?
I was born in Texas, in College Station.
College Station, Texas.
That's where Texas A&M is. Yep.
Okay. All right. I got a little bit of history back down in Texas. I won't talk about that right now. Now, here's the second question. Now, I know we're getting, we're in the latter part of 25. So let's jump to 26 now.
Yeah.
Not business-wise. Forget the business, right? This is for Gabe personally.
Yeah.
What's on your personal bucket list for next year?
Oh, shoot. Well, I told you right before we got on that I'm engaged. I'm getting married next year.
So I'm assuming that means next year?
Next year, October 3rd, 2026. I'm not saying everybody listening is invited, but that's the
date. Stay tuned. Coming soon to Instagram post near you.
That's right. That's right. Hey, and God willing, maybe the next time we talk, I'll have a new member of the family too. That's part of the plan as well. So
now, wait a minute. Next time, you mean I got to wait for a whole year before I can talk to you again?
No, definitely not. You're right. I won't have another member of the family that soon.
Yeah. I gotta say, no, wait a minute. Hey, I had a lot of fun today, so I would like to get you back on the podcast again.
I appreciate it.
Let's pick up from step 4 and go a little further.
Absolutely, and that would be for folks that have a little bit that they want to invest and see a good ROI on, right? And that would be the next step. Is okay. Now you can bring in some expert professionals. And there's still tons of landmines and pitfalls on that, right? Like I don't have to tell anybody that, it's hard to find a trustworthy marketing person, but I'm here to help people sift through the noise and make sure their money is going to the right place.
Now, one of the reasons, folks, why I wanted to have Gabe on is because, here at the Academy and Beyond Clean, we get calls, we get messages, about home cleaning. Since we don't do that here, I thought this would be a good component to bring in to some of our stuff because people have the question. We're here about cleaning. So share this with other people that are in the home cleaning network that maybe it's your family, maybe it's friends, maybe even it's, I don't know, anybody that that this advice could be good for. We'll have Hector back, or Hector. I want to call you Hector now.
Okay, that's the name of our company.
We'll have Gabe with Hector come on and pick up from number 4, and then that way you can pick up some other things that they can help you with there at Hector Service Marketing.
Amazing. That sounds so good, Dave. I really appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to listen.
Thank you very much. I've had a lot of fun, folks. As we always say, we know where Gabe was born. We know where he's wanting to go next year. Oh, another journey there. Oh, boy. I can tell you things, but I'll leave that alone. So we know where he's been. We know where he's going. We don't know all the details of the journey in between, but here's my advice to you folks. Whatever journey you're on, make sure that it's healthy, positive, and proactive. Till we talk again, keep it safe out there.
Cheers, sir. Thank you so much.